What's up, Wildcats? I am Lauren Reese, and today I am here with some of the cast members of High Point's upcoming fall drama, A Few Good Men. We have our director here, Miss Riccardi. Everybody else can go around and say their names, their roles, and what grade they're in. Who wants to take it away first? Mitch, you want to take it away?
I'm Micah Infield. I'm a sophomore, and I play PFC Loudon Downey.
I'm Trevor Ranzan. I'm in 12th grade, and I play Sam Weinberg.
I'm Sophia Margiata. I play Commander Whitney Stone, and I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Amelia Race. I'm a senior, and I play Judge Julia Alexandria Randolph.
I'm Evan Worrell. I'm a senior, and I play Lieutenant Dan Caffey.
I'm Sean Colarusso. I'm a junior, and I play Lance Corporal Harold Dawson.
I'm Jacob Strawway. I'm a senior, and I play Matthew Markinson.
I'm Destiny Cover. I'm a senior, and I play Lieutenant Jacqueline Ross.
I'm Benjamin Smith. I'm a senior, and I play Colonel Nathan Robert Jessup.
I'm Jason Cordero. I'm also a senior, and I play Captain Whitaker.
I like the last names we incorporate. It makes it feel very sophisticated. So I know we have a lot of students on this panel, mostly seniors, I know that, and a few underclassmen as well. But I think more than ever, coming together now for Tech Week, which we're in right now, this show really relies on everybody, from the prosecution to the defense to Jessup and the officials in charge and stuff. Everybody is constantly intertwined. So that makes me want to ask, how have you guys kind of been how do you guys feel collaborating on that from your perspective? And maybe get some other perspectives of maybe like a private or a corporal, and then how different that is from the colonel. Like, how do you guys all kind of feel about that? Anyone's welcome to take it away.
I can start.
Yeah.
There is so much effort that I know everybody put in, but I myself made sure to fully understand all the legal lines that I said or that were said around me, as well as just made sure I understood the military aspect of things, more than just terminology, but all the different people we were brought in to talk to the cast and crew who were Marines or still are Marines.
Yeah,
those were great opportunities that we were given to actually get a glimpse at the spirits of the Corps.
The Marine Corps, yeah, exactly.
Very much so.
I think that it's important that you look at who you're talking to as their title of the character, so that you know who you're talking to and show them the proper respect that a person in the Marines would to that title.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a corporal or a commander or a lieutenant, make sure you know who you're talking to so you can show them the proper respect that they do in the military.
Yeah, definitely.
That and a lot of court lingo to learn
definitely the
and
second
get
act.
used to, and all the objections, and just really how things are supposed to run smoothly in a courtroom, more than just as an actor, but even just it gave us a sense of a real life perspective of how things work in a courtroom. And I know as the judge, it's insane to see all these things happening with prosecution and defense and how that works and how everything kind of flows
Yeah.
through.
Totally, that's what I'm saying. That's really cool. I know it's kind of a mix of the kind of casuality of some things, but then once you're incorporating the court scenes into that, that's when it gets a lot more intricate. I'll go into more of this later, actually, but there's a huge legacy with this show. Like you were saying, and even like you were saying, there's lots of Navy and Marine professionalism. And I know you said we have people that were brought in. Anybody else could talk a little bit more about that. But how did you guys go about preparing for your roles specifically? Like you said, the differences between a colonel or commander or corporal. How have you guys been going about that and the high level of sophistication that comes with it?
I mean, for me, I've been doing a lot of research into all the medals and stuff that personally Jessup has, and how those would be obtained, to realize what actually a real person would have to do to get those, and kind of put myself in that mind frame, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and you have moments where you're talking to Whitney Stone and you're
Yep.
saying and you do have some with Kathy as well, where you talk about what you've seen, because obviously as a colonel you've gone up in ranks, and what you've seen as a character really displays in your body language too. Anybody else want to comment on that? Is that right? All right. I mean, we had Mr. Langan come in who helped with that because Mr. Langan is a teacher here. He served in the Marine Corps. He came in and talked to us a little bit about Marine professionalism, how to walk, especially for the corporals and privates. Who else was there? We had Brendan Schmidt, who is Angus Schmidt, who plays Kendrick's brother, who is in the Marine Corps. He was talking to us about costumes and all that posture and how neat things are. How was that, seeing that for you guys?
I thought it was pretty cool to see what people that were actually in the Marine Corps and how, like, what they've seen and what they have gone through, and that passed on to us. Mm-hmm. And we have to uphold that respect.
No, definitely.
And, you know, be professional about all this language and posture and uniforms.
Yeah, uniforms.
I thought it was really cool having them come in and talk to us about everything about it.
I think we have such a really great tradition of doing a lot of ensemble shows here. I mean, no better example than the production of Clue last year. But then there's your murder mystery comedy, and now all of a sudden we're in a courtroom drama. Mm-hmm. But it's also what absolutely attracted me to this piece. First of all, Aaron Sorkin is a marvelous writer.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
And he's certainly known as a screenwriter, but to see what he did early on in his years with this play, and how all of them play a crucial part in telling the story. It's really not just about 2 or 3 people, but it's a true ensemble cast of 21 characters that make a difference in the telling of this story. And then you add the component of the fact that they are all playing roles of people in the military and understanding that history. So not only are they actors that need to tell a very good story that he has written, but they have to be respectful and understand how they are carrying themselves with honor and that distinguished presence they have to have the entire time while they are on stage. Totally. Out of respect for the many men and women that have served and continue to serve. So their understanding and research of that was equally important, I think, into understanding the story that Aaron Sorkin has written.
Yeah, that contributes to character as a whole, which is why I feel like we've all become way more in character too.
Yeah.
Do you have something you want to say?
I think to add on to that, about like the respect throughout the whole show, is that we were like given just a wonderful opportunity that some people donated their personal own uniforms to help with making all the outfits for all the different members of the cast.
Yeah, the cast.
And the way that outside of just respect in the play, respect in the characters, but the way like we've been going around like making sure to be as respectful to not just the gift of somebody donating their personal belongings, but donating such symbolic and meaningful.
Yeah, it's a heavy weight.
Treasures,
Oh,
really.
for real.
Treasures, really.
Speaking of kind of what we're wearing, you'll definitely see pictures going around on social media. I know on our Twitter you'll be seeing them, but the costumes we all have are, may I say, quite truly incredible. I think some of the best costumes I've ever had to experience. It's the weight of having like somebody else. It's kind of like your line. You're somebody else's life and yours and stuff. Like the weight of that. It's a lot, but so far I think we're all doing really, really well, and I think I'm very happy about that.
And it's not even just the costumes, it's how to wear the costumes.
Oh, for sure.
And the fact that Mr. Langan and Brendan Schmidt, High Point alum, were so generous in teaching us how to wear them appropriately, because it's not just any costume that they're putting on, it's what they're representing when they do wear that uniform. So that was such a learning experience, and I think for all of us, just another eye-opening experience to see wearing.
Seeing
not only wearing the uniform, but how you have to wear it, and then every time you exit and re-enter that stage, making sure that in no way is that look changing. Because it's very important that every time you enter to just reconnect and make sure it's there.
So kind of going off a little bit, I want to talk about Amelia, Sophia, and Destiny's roles, because people who may have seen the movie, those 3 roles are actually male roles. We have Jack Ross, we have Walter Stone, and we have Julius, I'm pretty sure.
Julius.
Yeah. Right, yeah, Alexander. So for you 3, I want to hear from your perspective, how was it kind of you're obviously taking influence from the movie and the productions you've seen, but putting your own feminine spin on things in this kind of the show where women are like, there's some moments where it's like just a male dominated, sorry when I say Jessup has some lines where it's just like a little bit, but
yeah, and some lines had to be cut. 'cause
yeah,
the
some lines did need to be cut, but there's still tension there. And how did you guys go about preparing yourselves for these roles and the changes they brought?
I mean, it felt cool because my entire role is to gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss. So I felt like, I don't know, I feel like it made the role maybe a bit better that it was a woman instead of a man. Because I feel like that makes the motivations more solid and important, especially since the show takes place in the 80s, in the military. That it makes sort of the things like why she does what she does have more weight to them.
Oh,
have
definitely.
More like oh, if I don't do this, then
A lot more
this
pressure.
is more likely to happen than if I was a guy.
Definitely. Others?
Yeah, I could pick it up from there. I totally agree. Being like a judge and like carrying that title of captain and all that, it adds like another, kind of like Sophia was saying, it adds like another element to the character because it doesn't like change the motivation, but it makes some moments a little bit more like
there's more riding with it, more on the line.
Yeah,
exactly.
like
I get what you mean.
when Jessup is on the stand,
definitely,
it's kind of like Sophia was saying, like a girl boss moment.
No,
I
it really
guess.
is. It's empowering.
But
It's so
like,
empowering.
It's
embrace it.
I just
fun
think
to see a
but
girl
it's
have
real.
that kind of
but it's
control
in a
and,
courtroom,
like
for
exactly
sure.
control in a courtroom.
And even for Destiny as the prosecutor, like you got some big words you gotta say, and you're like coming at
I had
Kathy
to look
and
up
all
so
this.
many of them. Like any of it
No,
means.
but yeah, I want to hear you kind of talk about that because as the other side of things, and I'm not going to give away her opinions of Dawson and Downey just yet, but like, how has that been for you, especially being the prosecutor?
It's been very interesting. I did have to do like a lot of research, and then I watched the movie maybe like 7 or 8 times. And I was trying to see like how Kevin Bacon was doing it to try to put my own spin on it. And then it was so different. It was just very different.
I think you guys are doing great though.
I honestly thank Concord and Aaron Sorkin's representation for giving us the opportunity to do it because absolutely we have women in the military, very successfully serving in the military, and I think it's the story can be told just as well by putting some women as cast members. So it's exciting that we were given the unbelievable opportunity to do that.
Very appreciative of that.
Very fun.
We talked about this on the Footloose panel, but the all-star celebrities in here: Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, of course, can't forget Kevin Bacon, and J.T. Walsh, and we talked about
Kevin
Aaron
Pollak. Did you say Kevin Pollak?
You didn't say Kevin
Did
Pollak.
you? That's Sam. That's
Are
Sam.
you kidding me?
So funny.
I was looking
Love
at it.
him.
very
Yeah.
iconic
Don't you
character
worry.
as well.
I got the shitty hair on.
How have
I got you.
Thank
I got
you.
you.
Thank you.
I got
Thank
you.
you. I was reading the list. I'm like, where's Kevin Pollak?
So sorry, Trevor. Obviously, very notable and famous actors and actresses. How have these iconic characters and the amazing flexibility with the characters that you three are, as well as all the dialogue we have been given, how has that challenged you guys in the rehearsal process, as well as kind of improved you as an actor, you think, and changed your professionalism and kind of like going about yourself even?
I think that the past 2 shows, The Clue and Footloose, we both had great source material with them. We had the movie Clue and we had the movie Footloose, and they were both great representations of what the story is as a whole and what the characters are. And I think that even with A Few Good Men, you can watch that 9 or 10 times and you'll find something new each time you watch it. You will find different ways that they act, different ways that they say a line or something. And I think that watching that movie and using it as a good source material really helps memorization as well in this show, because a lot of it is just copy and paste of what Aaron Sorkin wrote in the play script and what is now into the the movie script, and I think that really helps with memorization and really helped with characterization of how to play the characters and how to say the lines and where they are in the beginning of the show and where they are at the end of the show. I think that the movie is a great help, and of course all those stars in there are
Definitely.
big stars.
And it's a great ensemble cast with chemistry, you know, which is something that we're working for as an ensemble all the time. I mean, it's you watch how well these actors come together. They're certainly famous individually for the work that they've done, but now they're working with an awesome script, and the way they are able to connect and build relationships. And not to mention, it is a courtroom drama, but there's so much humor in it.
Oh, totally.
There's so many funny moments, speaking of Kevin Pollak, and the role that
Very sorry,
and
Kevin
the role of
Pollak.
Sam that Trevor is playing. But
Yeah.
like, there's great humor in this courtroom drama, and it just doesn't happen easily. There has to be chemistry between the actors themselves on and off the stage, and then certainly within the characters that they're playing. And I think the movie sets a great example, and it's a great model for them to pull from. Certainly not become them, but use them as just a great model to inspire their own interpretations of their characters. So
Yeah, it's like we want to go off of the character, but you also want to make it your own. And
Yes.
finding that balance,
Yes.
that's kind of cool.
Yes.
So that's what leads me to ask, how has this show changed your opinions and also awareness of like marine professionalism and awareness and how the standards they hold themselves to? How has that kind of changed in your mind?
I think that, like, I personally, like, I always knew that they had a lot of, like, high standards. They were always good posture. They had a lot of, like, strict things I had to follow with uniform and stuff. But now being there and, like, going through even, like, just a part of what they're going through, like, it adds a whole nother level of, like, what you think that they're doing. And it just adds, like, a whole nother thought process. And it's hard up here, but like if this is hard, then that what they have to do is like so much harder.
It's like a good challenge though, because then you can see how, like you said, it's like a smaller scale up here,
Yeah.
but it brings light to things that are actually happening. I know Gitmo is like there's lots of books, movies, things that happen and have been discussed and documented about Gitmo. So displaying that on stage is a challenge, but yeah, honestly. Anything else to add on that? Because I do have a very fun question about to add on that. Favorite moments, spoiler free.
Spoiler
Wow.
free.
spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
What counts as a spoiler?
About that.
Spoiler free, or like you can, I don't know. I mean, I hope people have seen the movie.
No,
But, like,
I don't think
or, like
there's a
character
lot.
moments.
So,
I mean, we don't want
or,
to give
like,
it. I don't think we want to give much away.
I'll set the like
I
the
have
stage
one.
later.
I've
The
seen.
thing about this play is that all the writing is so good, just isolated, but just layered on top of itself, it just flows. So there are so many random callback jokes, or just not just jokes, but sincere aspects of the story that are repeated, both as foreshadowing and just as
definitely, yeah.
a flow of the story. So like some of my favorite moments are ones that had like 4 lines throughout the last hour or so of the story of foreshadowing for just one like
Things to come.
Things to come.
final moment. And so it's hard to pick.
It is hard to pick. That's why I did it on the spot,
Yeah,
just
my-
to make you guys more nervous.
No, I have one. I'll make it very vague. So, at the start of Act 2, there's one scene that I find really fun to do because with Evan and Lauren, I get to actually be myself and have fun, be sarcastic, all that, into Lauren's face, like shouting, making a big deal out of everything, and I
Really
find,
getting into his element.
Yeah,
Get to yell at a woman.
no, I just said that. No, I just found it really fun to do and practice and rehearse, and no, but that's probably my favorite scene at beginning of Act 2, where I freak out and
Yeah.
have fun on stage.
Good.
No,
Anybody
you
else?
go.
I appreciate
Another
that.
Go, Sean.
Okay. I really like a scene where it's like another yelling scene, but I like.
There's a lot of
it's
yelling
like
in the show,
Where
you can tell.
me and Evan, I'm like backing him up. It's like I'm backing him into a corner, and it's just fun to yell at him, and
Thanks, Sean.
I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but
No, it's like the power your character holds.
yeah,
It's definitely channeling that for you too as well.
Lot. It just gives it a lot of emotion, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I building on top of that, I like the I like one-on-one moments in the show when characters would get one-on-one moments, even when I'm not even on stage, like the moments between like say Jessup and the Doctor, like those moments,
That's a great foreshadowing
love
moment, too.
watching those moments and watching them build into the story and how they each scene that does that plays a crucial part in telling the story as a whole, and I really like the intimate moments a lot.
I like getting to Angus.
Oh yeah. No, because Whitney holds power, like you were saying, and then like Lieutenant Kendrick, seeing her interactions with him and her interactions especially with Jessup, and then even
Jessup's
witnessing.
line back. God plays a huge part in the story.
Yeah.
It's something you're gonna.
You'll hear
find
about
out
it. It's very
Actually, a big part in who he is, his character.
Kendrick and like it's
Also
it's-
the Marines
big
too.
part.
It's big in how he runs Gitmo, Kendrick's character. And at the beginning of Act 2, after we've had an entire act of seeing Kendrick do that, me and Ben get to sort of scold him a little bit about it, and it's pretty fun.
That's a really good scene we have first.
My favorite
Perfect.
is at the very end working with some of the teachers in the school. I'll leave it at that.
That's theory right there.
I'll leave it at that.
Rock the bomb.
I know. That's why I said it. Not just because it's my favorite moment, but it's fun.
We do have
Now they're gonna
for
wonder.
Footloose. We did have a bunch of teachers who came in and helped out as faculty members during Beaumont High School, and now majority of them are coming back and making another appearance during the fall drama
And they
era.
look very professional in their military
They
gear.
look very nice, very
They all look
sophisticated.
gorgeous.
If I may say, my favorite moment, if I may say,
Of course.
just because I've lived with the movie longer than you, showing my age. But in 1992, I could remember the movie coming out, and it's one of those movies that I kept watching and I kept looking at, and I've always enjoyed it. It was so fun to learn after watching that movie that it was actually a play first. And to find that script and knowing for how many years I picked up that script and put it down and said, it's just not the right year to do it. And to actually watch you all develop the same appreciation for it that I have, and to actually take this story that more people remember from the movie. So many people don't realize it was a Broadway play first, and they know the movie so well, and for us to take it and put it on the stage and watch you all take on the personalities of all these characters and tell a beautiful story, a very intense story. It's been fun to watch you over 6 weeks get to the point where you're at right now. So that's fun for me. I love
From a
that.
director's perspective.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
is.
if I can
It is.
follow
I love it.
that,
No,
but,
please do. Please definitely chime in.
It's kind of fun because my character, he kind of plays two roles, if that makes sense. I mean, it'll make sense eventually.
It'll make sense when you see it.
But,
You get your tickets and see it.
Yeah, it's interesting to be thinking of how I'm acting while acting. It's kind of a paradox, but I get to play. It literally is.
It's a paradox.
Sorry, the line came up.
My character acts on stage as
Yeah.
himself. It's
That's
really
it's
weird.
a challenge, though.
Yeah, but it's also being in Matthew's mindset, while also trying to be a different kind of Matthew.
Because things are up with Matthew Markinson.
My
You'll
favorite
see.
Markinson scene is his final one.
Oh my god!
What does that mean?
You'll have to stay tuned for that.
I'm very confused. I don't understand that. I don't get that at all.
No, yeah. Any other final moments that stand out?
My favorite scene to do is the one where I'm questioning Downey. That's my favorite scene to do, but my favorite one to watch is the final court scene. That's my favorite one to watch.
Those court scenes have been worked very, very much.
And one of the most famous parts that people remember from the movie, too.
That's gotta be my
Let
favorite
the-
part.
if you know the line, you know the line.
We're not saying it.
Nobody say a word.
I will say, I helped Ben backstage memorize that scene, and I got to play everyone else in that scene, and it was a lot of fun because it gets
No,
It's
it gets
fast-paced.
very heated.
That's the best part, though. That's the best part.
Yeah. Any other remarks?
I would have to say, absolutely, one of my favorite scenes just to watch is one of the final, like, before the, final day in court, the scene that Kathy, Sam, and Joe have is it's a very emotional, like, character-driven scene that really shows just the final, like, full glimpse at their motivations and who they are before we get into finishing up all the action and all the drama of the courtroom.
Great moment.
That's a great. We get right to the courtroom too. That's a good
And
point to
some
note out.
really just stellar, like, witty lines there as well, right beforehand between the two of them.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate all of your responses. Thank you guys so much for being here. It has been so much fun. I love having you all guys. I love having all you guys on here. It's lots of fun. So, if you can't see our T-shirts, our performance dates are. Do we have it? You do have it? Oh, it just says November. So, performance dates are November 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 4th and 5th are at 7 p.m. and the 6th is at 2 p.m. You can get tickets on www.showtix4u.com/events/highpoint, and I'll put a little link probably in the bio as well as on the screen too. So.
No, but didn't you know we're actually performing every day in November?
Oh, yeah, every day. It's a whole month
Even
long
Thanksgiving.
We're running the show for
My
6
parents
weeks.
can wait.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, Wildcats. Thank you for watching.